I solemnly swear that I will tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Yeah, hi everybody. Ron here from The Truth About Addiction.
I
Welcome to
solemnly swear that I will tell
2023.
the
What a
truth,
year.
the whole
Let's
truth,
make this a big
and
year.
nothing
We'll
but
make it
the
a
truth. So help me
recovering
God.
year, a happy year, a beautiful year, a year of loving our families and our friends and the people as a community, because I'm now a human being, not a human taking, and that's a really, really nice thing to be. And today we've got a special guest, a friend of mine, Dan Fitz. And Fitzy, welcome to The Truth About Addiction, mate.
Thank you, brother.
And yeah, mate, tell us the Fitzy story, please.
Look, it's look, I'm Dan. I'm an addict. Grateful to be clean. Grateful to be alive. Grateful to know some beautiful humans like yourself, Ronnie. Definitely wasn't all Bentleys and blowjobs, mate. It was just shit. I grew up, single mum. My mum was a single mum. Had 4 kids. Done the best that she fucking could. I guess I was a bit rebellious as a kid, as probably you were, Ronnie. I could imagine. Smoked a bit of pot when I was young, and that really, really quickly escalated to amphetamines, and then I found heroin, mate. We were using heroin at high school, probably before that actually, a little bit here and there, but once I left high school, I guess I was pretty much addicted then, mate. I didn't know nothing about addiction. I just sort of I liked using drugs, and it was a fun thing to do. Everyone else was doing it. I did a shitload of bad things on the way through. I just couldn't stop using the stuff, mate. I was pretty good. I held jobs down, but I was always chopped at work. Lie, cheat, steal my way through jobs, and to feed my addiction. Mate, I can't say my life was shit, but my using was definitely shit. It took everything from me multiple times. I lost many relationships, good relationships. I just struggled. I could maybe get a week here and there clean, Ron, and then I think I'm all right. I think I'm kicking goals, probably put a kilo on and think I'm looking sharp and all that. And I'd start using again. And I just could not fucking stop, mate. Heroin took everything from me. And fast forward a bit, mate, look, been using the whole time. 2015 come along. And, my brother was murdered. Yeah, my brother was murdered. I was at work, and I got the phone call. Mum, I'll never ever forget that scream from my old lady. I rushed home, and they were taking my brother and away in a fucking meat wagon, and I thought, my addiction was that bad that, like, I remember my best mate who picked me up that day. He said to me, "Man, you've been fucking pretty good," because I was on the Suboxone program at the time. Said, "You've been pretty good. Don't let this fucking be a slip for you." Within 20 minutes, mate, of my brother dying, I was on, and everything really, really, really went south from there. I guess it had affected me. Affected me pretty full on for a while. I think I didn't have any feelings or cry for about 8 weeks afterwards. My poor mum, she was fucking lost, to the point where she thought that I had something to do with it. And I think that really affected me even more. And I just chopped in as hard as I fucking possibly could. I spent it, as I did prior, spent every minute that I was awake either searching or using, and robbing, stealing, whatever I had to do to get on. I'm actually OD'd probably more times than I like to admit. And I think I've OD'd 13 times and been in the hospital pretty much with them saying, hey, fucking, this, you can't do it again. You're going to die. I'd walk out the fucking hospital and old mate would be waiting in the car park for me. And then I'd have it ready and OD again and, be back inside fucking 15 minutes later. I just didn't care. I'd lost all hope. I can honestly say, Ron, that I wanted to die.
Yep.
I just wanted it all over. I'd been killing myself slowly for so many years, and then what happened to my brother just set me over the edge. I never heard about rehab. I thought it was, I'd just seen the fucking hats, mate, with rehabs for quitters on it. That's all I knew about fucking rehab, and I was like, I don't want to be a quitter. I wasn't a quitter, and my family dragged me off to rehab for the first time. I was that sick. This one day got dragged to the Salvation Army in the city by my family. I was that fucking sick. I was lying on the floor. I didn't know if I was going to fucking shit, fart, spew, or come. Like, I was fucking crook. And I did not want to be there. And, I'd threatened to jump out on the highway. And I guess that was the start of something greater, I met some people that day, even though I was lying on the floor. I met some people that day that have been a big part of my life ever since. Well, I wouldn't say a big part of my life, but a part of my change from that point on. I think I lasted 54 days on my fucking first attempt at rehab. I went out for a few beers at rehab, and I swear I'd got that far down the neck of the beer, and both me and my mate that I was with turned around and said, "You want to get a shot?" Just how quick it happens. And next minute, fucking 2 years had passed. My second attempt at rehab, I got 10 months up. That's the longest I'd ever been clean over 22 years of using. And I don't know, I guess I still had that massive ego, which I probably still got today, but that's maybe a little bit dumbed down. Massive ego, and I just didn't fucking listen. Nothing really sunk in for me that time. And another 5 attempts of rehab after that. This time around, I was, before I went to this last time, mate, I went to rehab. I was earning really, really good money, and had some good scams going on, and I was probably chopping into about $1,000 worth of heroin a day, and I did that for about 2 years. And my beautiful missus, who is now my wife, she watched me again try and kill myself very slowly over them 2 years, but she fucking stuck by me, and it just got to a point where she gave me that ultimatum, mate, where it was, it's either me or that shit. And I knew what I wanted. It definitely wasn't the heroin. I just couldn't fucking stop using it. Like every 15 minutes when I was jumping that back fence, running over the shops and getting on, and it was just fucked. It was just, I had me work van at the time. This one Sunday morning, I'd having my missus in the ear. I just had this massive smash in my work van. Coppers pulled me out of the work van, and I was like, you know what? This is fucking God telling me it's fucking over. I threw my hands in there and I just went, "You've got me. I'm on heroin. Do whatever you have to do." I'd never given up in my life, mate. I'd fucking, if I was backed into a corner, I'll fight my way out of it. If the bite, kick, scratch, spit on it, But this time I was just like, I was actually fucking thankful. Pulled me out, took me to the fucking hospital, drew blood, done all the shit. I had to walk, real humbling. I had to fucking walk from the PA all the way home to Forest Lake at the time, which is a fucking good walk. I had thongs on, and it was just like, you know what, fucking, I deserve this. You know, this is all my own fault. I was hanging out like a fucking dog, and I got home, and I just, I said to my missus, she goes, "Where the fuck have you been?" And for once, I was, you know, usually when she said that, I'd say, "Oh, well, I haven't been using," and I'd always been using, but this time, it was the first time I was able to say, "Well, I haven't been using. This is what's happened. Fucking, I need to go to rehab. Like, I'm fucked." And she helped me get into rehab. She actually did the calling for me because I was just that crook, man. I could barely speak. I couldn't even hold the fucking phone to my ear. I went to a little rehab out the back of the Ipswich Hospital. It was a rehab. It was just a little house. Guy that was there was ex-army. There was 4 of us, 4 blokes in a house, and it was like a rehab for fucking adults, mate. You know, I remember all the stuff from prior rehab attempts, and I don't know, just this bloke that, you know, I guess that ex-army background, he was strict. He you know, it was all up to me if I fucking wanted it. And I just wanted it this time. I just wanted to be clean. Not just wanted to be clean, I wanted to stay clean. I could get clean, you know, maybe a week, 2 weeks at the very fucking, I'd always use afterwards. Could never fucking stay clean. You know, after that 10-month rehab stay, I ended up using as well. And yeah, this time I was like, you know what, I fucking got to get this. You know, I got a woman that loves me. I got, you know, a life worth living. You know, I wanted my son back in my life who I hadn't seen for 5 years. I just wanted to be somewhat fucking normal, mate. You know, not have to get up every day and shoot up a shitload of heroin just to be able to function. I remember this guy saying to me, "Mate, you know, how bad do you want it?" I said, "I will fucking do whatever it takes. This time, I swear I will do whatever it takes." And he had a list of people that were meant to go to that rehab, and he was like, "All right, we're going to take you in then." Yeah, that was the best thing you ever could have said, you know. I got to the rehab, and after the worst detox center that I've ever been in my life, I won't say the name, but fucking it was horrendous. And just, there was a fucking yellow line drawn on the floor, one end, and then the other end was a hostel, and mate, fucking shit was going on in that hostel. That was fucking crazy. I was the only person in the fucking detox there. I was there by myself for fucking 7 days, and it was over. It was just before the Christmas period, and I just sat there and watched cricket. That's all I could do. Like, I was like, I'm not going over that fucking yellow line because I'll end up getting on, and I'm just going to sit here and watch fucking cricket. And thank fuck I like cricket. So, and I just fucking smoked bungers, mate, and I got through it. Like 7 days, I detoxed, and I was fucking crook as fuck. But yeah, once I got to that rehab, it was like, he just said, the bloke around the place just said to me, "It's all up to you, man. I'll go home at 4 o'clock. If you're here in the morning, it means you fucking want it." He goes, "But I will drug test you." I said, "Sweet as." I said, "I'll see you in the morning." And the first 2 weeks, they didn't let me out of the place. There was a meeting fucking like directly across the house. Still wouldn't fucking let me go to that meeting. And that's all I wanted to do. I just wanted to get into the meetings. So I knew as soon as I got into meetings, you know, that'd kick me off, and I'd set that foundation for myself. But I listened. I did whatever they said, and like I said, I'd do whatever it takes. And I just knew I had to do the next right thing. Listen to fucking someone else instead of myself. Because all I do is lead myself down the garden path. And so I did that. You know, there was 4 other blokes in the house, and they were allowed out to do their fucking things, and I just had to stay there, man. And I remember the first night, probably the third night, Ronnie, I was struggling, really, really struggling. I was like, fuck this. You know, I was at Ipswich, where I had to go and get on, wasn't that far, and I was thinking, fuck this, I'm about to run. And I said to myself, "God, just give me a fucking sign, you know, show me that you're there." Right directly across the road from this rehab was a church, and on the top of the church was a big LED cross. and it would have been about 8:30, and I'd opened up the front windows, and boom, that big cross was lit up. Brightest thing, it would have been the brightest thing in the fucking Ipswich Centre. And not one day before that, or one day for the 4 months after that I was there, was that cross ever lit up. It was just that night when I opened up that fucking curtain, I just went, yeah, all right, you got me, mate, I'm fucking staying. So I stayed, and I couldn't wait for that 2 weeks to get up, because I love training, and they had a gym down the road that was all paid for us, and so I couldn't wait to get to that, and I couldn't wait to get to meetings, but I knew I couldn't do gym or anything else unless I fucking did meetings first every day. So once they said, all right, Dan, you can go out tonight, I knew the only meeting that was around was fucking in the valley, which is fucking a train ride away. I knew I had to pass through every fucking shit spot that I'd fucking been to in my life. But I was like, I'll just focus on the fucking destination, and I'll get to meetings. And I did that every single fucking day. I remember the boys, I'd say to them, listen, man, if you're keen, I can jump on board, let's go. I'm going to a meeting every day. I don't give a fuck where it is. What I have to do to get there, I'm fucking going. If you want to come, you can come. If you don't, sweet as, I'm going anyway. And that happened for a good while. The boys were always on board, but then they started getting a bit lazy, and I was like, you know what? Fucking, I don't give a fuck what everybody else is doing. This is about me. I'm going to meetings. And I did that, and I guess I cemented that foundation on, I knew I needed meetings, and I just fucking did meetings as much as I fucking possibly could. And I was pretty lucky. I'd been there for 4 months, and I reckon I think I didn't miss out on a meeting a day for the first 4 months. And then we had this fucking virus thing that kicked in. I think they call it COVID or something. So that happened, and it was like the day before. That day, the guy that running the show said, Dan, you've been here for 4 months. Tomorrow we're locking this place down. What do you want to do? I'll give you the options. He goes, I honestly think you got this. And I didn't think that. I thought I needed to stay there for at least another fucking year. My missus was like, no, you're not fucking doing that. And I said, well, what do we want to do? Like, I'm going to come home and we're going to get locked down there. There's no gym at home. She goes, come home, I'll fucking buy you a gym. And I was like, you serious? All right, I'll come home then. And the next day was the only day I had of freedom, because I reckon if I had any more freedom than that, I probably would have fucked up. But the next day, me and my missus, we fucking rang around, bought a fucking home gym. Like, you know what, this is going to be the best thing for me, getting locked down. And we were locked down for, I can't remember how long it was. I think it was nearly 6 months. Locked down at home, the first bout of COVID. So I'd gotten straight out of rehab, 1 day of freedom, boom, lockdown, solid at home. And mate, it was the fucking best thing for me. I just got up, did fucking these Zoom meetings that just fucking come out of nowhere, which, thank God for the people that fucking put them together, because that shit saved my fucking life. I just trained my ring hole out fucking every day. Every day I'd just train my ring hole out, do Zoom meetings, pester them misses, and that was just life. Like fucking, made a bit of a pact in the house that I was the only one that was allowed to go over the shops. But it was funny, because them shops is where I used to get on all the time. My missus trusted me to go over there, man. That was a big thing for me, like being allowed to go over to them shops, man, because I'd fucking jump that fence when I was using that many times a day, and because we lived right up against the fucking shops at the time, and I'm grateful today, man, because now I only have to fucking jump the back fence to get the fucking ball when it goes over. I don't have to jump over there to go get on, and that was a big thing. So I'd be the only one that went to the shops, and bring back all the food. So I was allowed to fucking look, I'd been doing it in rehab, you know, the shopping for the rehab. So I was allowed to do it. I'd just get the few things at the and I just fucking, mate, the amount of fucking meat I reckon I ate in that 6 months that we were locked down was just ridiculous. I put on, I think when I went to rehab this time, I would have been about 60 kilos. In 4 months, I put 40 kilos on. I just fucking packed it on and then started training as well. So I was just this fucking big brown blob of a thing. And first time I'd ever been that big in my life. And I thought it was cool, but it wasn't that cool. Snore like a train. Then, you know, we got out of lockdown. I met Corey. Everybody that knows me knows Corey. Like, I met Corey in rehab. We stuck together by each other and just helped each other out. Once we got locked down, he couldn't come over. He may have cried a few times. But when lockdown sort of they started easing up and you could have people at the house, me and Corey were running the Monday night Zoom meeting. It was just like an event, man. We would just fucking, I don't know, I couldn't wait till Monday night. You know, we'd sit down, have a big feed, and we'd get on and we just have. And everyone used to say, "Oh, this fucking Zoom meeting that you guys doing is fucking mad." You know, I guess it's like our men's meeting up here. You know, it wasn't so serious, but it was still serious, if you know what I mean. And people gigging each other, and which you don't get at NA meetings, and but we had a ball and we just made it our own, and man, that shit fucking saved my ass, man. You know, it really did. And who would have thought, like, talking to a fucking computer screen about your shit would help change your life, man? It fucking saved my ass, Ronnie. You know, if I reckon I would have went batshit crazy if we didn't have them Zoom meetings when COVID was on. So, you know, fast forward a bit, ended up moving from Forest Lake after COVID and all that to the beautiful fucking Sunshine Coast. I'd gotten clean up here about 5 years ago for a while, but I always wanted to come back. My mum and my dad both have places up here. I just knew, you know, my missus, she grew up in Anala as well. And, you know, baby, what do you want to do? You want to have a fucking, this could be a big change for us, you know? And mate, I tell you what, it's the best thing we ever did was move up here. Sort of sucks for my missus a little bit. All her family's there down in Brizzy. We have a nice big home where they can come stay. We've got up here, some of her family and the kids up here today. You know, granddad and our auntie's coming over tomorrow. Life has changed from, you know, from all I worry about was shooting up heroin to, you know, now actually fucking looking after myself and having responsibilities. Like, I'd never had any responsibilities my whole life. I've got a good life today, Ron. 90% of that's because my fucking missus stuck by me, you know. No one ever really stuck by. Don't get me wrong, my mum and that, like, they stuck by me. I never, you know, but they had to put me at arm's length at some time. But Sarah, she's stuck by me, and you know, we come up here and we've just made a fucking beautiful life for ourselves. You know, as long as I'm doing my meetings, mate, which I do, you know, I still do 2 meetings a week. You know, I'm a little bit over 3 years clean. I do 2 meetings a week. You know, I try and give back as much as I can. I probably don't do enough service, but the men's camp thing that myself and Corey put together, you know, like that, I think that really, really changed my recovery as well. You know, we went to Evans Head Men's Camp a couple of years back now, and I'd never been to one. I'd never been to a men's camp. My missus thought I was going down there to be gay, and she still thinks that today. And you know, that's not the case at all. It was an eye-opening event. You know, I got to see some men with some good clean time, talk about, you know, how they'd changed their lives, and my recovery just fucking went berserk after that. Yeah, I just couldn't believe that, you know, some of the stories, you know, I'd never seen fucking real men cry. My sponsor, your sponsee, You know, fucking every time he cries now, I just bawl my eyes out. Like, fucking, I'm not a crier, but you know, it's you know, I think I got a bit. I think a bit of the ice was chipped away from my heart that weekend, and you know, just me and Corey left there, and I was just like, fuck, dude, we need to do that. We need to have a men's camp on the Sunshine Coast. You know, put it to all the boys at our men's meeting, and you know, we in 3 months we put together the first men's camp up here on the Sunshine Coast, and it was fucking amazing. Everyone had a ball. Sucked. All the boys couldn't from New South Wales and all over Australia couldn't come because of COVID lockdown rules. But you know, we just had the second one not so long ago. It pissed down fucking rain all weekend, but everyone still had a fucking ball. It was cool on the Friday night when we had the meeting, and there was 140 men in a room. You know, that's, I don't know if it's true. I did post on Facebook, you know, probably the biggest men's meeting ever held in Australia, you know, and I've had a few people text me back and say, fucking, you know, I think it was then, you know, 140 blokes in a room talking about the shit. It was fucking cool.
Yeah.
And I had a hand in that, and that's really cool, you know, and so did all the boys. I commend everyone that you know, put some effort into it. We have a great crew up here on the sunny coast, and you know, these are the men that are teaching me how to be a man. You know, that's all I ever wanted, Ronnie.
Yeah.
You know, I was sick of being a fucking scared little boy. Yeah, I don't know. It's funny. Like I got married 2 weeks ago, and I'll tell you what, if anything makes you feel more like a man, getting a wedding ring put on your finger. My missus asked me, "Oh, how do you feel?" I said, "Actually, my chest feels a bit bigger." You know,
Yeah.
It was a cool thing. You know, got to marry Sarah. You know, she stuck by me. I always said to her, you know, you stuck with me through my worst. You deserve me at my best. And look, man, we just have a fucking good life now. She's happy. I'm happy. Her kids are happy. The fucking animals are happy. Her brother who lives with us, he's in a wheelchair. You know, he's happy. You know, 3 minutes from the fucking beach. You know, we can see the beach from our veranda.
Yeah.
That's amazing for a kid that grew up in a nala and had fucking nothing, mate. You know, I don't really need too much more than what I have at the moment, Ron. You know, I have a car today that I pay each week. There's fuel in it. Both the fucking plates are the same, mate. You know, I'm fucking 42 years old. I just bought my first fucking motorbike. I've never had a motorbike on the road. I couldn't do any of that shit. You know, like this year, not a few months ago, man, I competed in my first fucking bodybuilding competition.
Yeah.
I went from 116 kilos or whatever it was down to 74 kilos, you know. I couldn't do none of that shit when I was using. I fucking met Scotty Hipwell, and you know, Scotty, you know, that man's been a big part of my life. He's helped change my life too, you know. Not just with the fitness side of things. He's really helps me with the mental shit, man. And with him, it's just, you know, he's just fucking real stern, real straight up guy, and tells you fucking how it is, and that's what I need. I don't need to be patted on the bottom and say, "Here, you need to do this, sweetheart." You know, I need it fucking straight. Like, I've done some fucking mad stuff. I've done more things in my past 3 years of being clean than I ever thought I'd be able to do. Well, that I ever did in you know, 22 years of using. Yeah, today I don't wreck my life, and I enjoy it. I love this recovery gig. Get to help others. You know, I like helping others. You know, I got one of my best mates who did rehab in 2015 up staying with me at the moment. Who's been, you know, who struggled his ass off to get clean, and you know, just the other day he turned 30 days, man, and that's, you know, I had a little bit of a hand in that, and that's really cool. You know, he says, oh, I've been running on Dan's will, you know, and Dan's will for me is to stay clean, and then that's just how it is, man. I fucking want to see the guy enjoy life like I get to enjoy life, and you and my sponsor and all the boys that are fucking kicking goals up here on the sunny coast. Because I don't know, on this we're blessed. We're just fucking blessed, man.
Yep.
You know, yeah, I'm grateful for what I got. You know, I'm grateful to have responsibilities today. You know, I'm definitely not fucking perfect, nor do I want to be. Definitely wouldn't say I'm normal. I still have a little bit of crazy, and normal's just a fucking setting on a washing machine anyway. But I have a life worth living. I have people around me worth living for that love me. I can show love, be loved, fucking all the things, man. You know, yeah, I can't thank NA enough. I can't thank the men that I've met up here on the sunny coast enough. I just like to watch, see what they're doing, and just try to emulate that to the best of my ability. And don't get me wrong, I'm not fucking perfect at it. I get shit wrong all the time. But I just have a fucking great life, you know. I really do. I can't really say any more than that.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. And I don't believe there's anything as perfect. I don't believe, we're human beings. We're males and then we're addicts, you know. Human beings aren't perfect, you know. Males aren't perfect, you know. Addicts, anything we were perfect at was fucking everything up, you know. And today,
Yeah, I was good at that.
Today we have a choice, you know, which is the greatest gift I was given, was the freedom of choice. Today I choose not to pick it, to put something in my body that's going to change the way I think and change the way I feel.
Yeah.
You know, because it's very hard to love somebody who doesn't love themselves. It's very hard.
Yeah, that's a big thing, eh?
Yeah.
It really is. I guess you know, I've said it before that, you know, I guess I loved heroin more than I loved myself.
Oh, 100%.
Today I could honestly look myself in the mirror and I say I love you, mate. You know,
Yeah.
it took me a long time to do that. But I could do it today. You know, I never thought I'd be able to do it. You know, and like you said with the choices thing, man, like I get asked all the time, damn, why are you so fucking happy? And I go, it's fucking simple, man. I didn't have to wake up this morning and fucking stick a needle in my arm to fucking to be able to function, you know. I can wake up fucking smiling. I'm probably smiling before I wake up, Rod, you know.
Yep.
Not all the time, but you know, yeah, we're blessed with a choice to be happy and not have to fucking do the things we've done. It's a pretty cool thing.
No, we are blessed. There's something greater than ourselves. I don't know what it is, mate, but there is something out there greater than ourselves. I'll tell you what is greater than ourselves: the therapeutic value of one addict helping another. I know for a fact that that's greater than ourselves.
I hear you say that a lot, Ron, and it always gets me because I never really got that. Because my old sponsor used to say that to me. Oh, you know, when he'd ring me up and we'd have chats, and you know, maybe I had a few words of wisdom during that conversation, and he'd go, "Man, you don't realize how much you're helping me." I didn't realize that until probably after a year clean, and I started trying to sponsor someone, and I really got the therapeutic value of one addict helping another. You know, I think I got to share my sponsor at the time. My sponsor step 4 with him, and now it was a fucking really powerful moment. You know, and I just that day I remember saying to myself, now I understand what my old sponsor said. You know, I understand what the therapeutic value of one addict helping another is. Right, it's this shit right here. You know. Yeah, you know, whether they be one day clean or fucking 10 years clean, like, you know, I've heard the person that's one day clean in the room say, "Hey, I can say something," and I'll just go, "Fucking wow," you know. And I've got that from people that are 20 plus years clean. You know, it's it's pretty cool.
It's a very special program. It's a very spiritual program, not religious. You can make it religious if you want to. That's your choice. But the choice that we have today is that we never have to use again. And the only thing that was promised to me when I got clean was freedom from active addiction. Everything else was based around choices. I wanted freedom from guilt. I didn't do things that were going to make me feel guilty. If I wanted freedom from lust, I didn't act out on lust.
Yeah.
I didn't go and watch porn if I want freedom from lust. If I want freedom from fear, I don't go and do things that I'm going to be fearful of.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's really simple. It's a really simple program. But, you know, the greatest gift that I've been given is the ability to sit with myself and have no expectation, to sit with other people and have no expectation,
Yep.
to have no judgment, to have no ulterior motive. That's a really, really special thing. That took a long time before those things came. I always had motives. I always had judgment. I say it a lot. You know, a lot of times I never listened to what you said because I was already thinking about how I was going to answer you.
I think you said this last night.
I did say it last night. You know, and it's true. Because I always had the answers to everything. You know, I was. Well, I've got a joke. You know, the judge said to me, he said, "You're a thinker, Mr. Isherwood." He said, "Yeah, he's 18 years. Think about this."
That's something to think about, right?
That's something to think about. You're a thinker, Mr. Isherwood. He said, "I just sentenced you to 18 years imprisonment. Think about that." And he gave me a long time to think about it.
Maybe you needed it, mate. Maybe you needed it.
and you know what? I got a lot of growth out of that sentence, and a lot of people got helped, and my program went to another level, went to another stratosphere of my.
Well, it's probably shit as just to say it's you getting them 18 years is not just helped you, it's helped a lot of fucking people, Ron.
Oh, yeah, so many. And my sponsor says to me, "Your higher power gave it to you because he knew that you could do it and stay clean." He said, "No one else ever could." I'm the only person we know that's ever done a lagging and stayed clean.
That's
a big lagging.
A fucking big lagging, yeah.
I'm the only guy in the whole of Australia that's ever, done a big lagging, went in there clean and came out the other end clean, and proceeded to carry the message in the cesspool of all cesspools, where that's the disease's breeding ground. And a lot of people found some glimmer of hope, and that's what we do. We plant seeds. It's up to the person to germinate it, to feed it, and to nurture it. Yep. All our job is to plant the seed, because in the early recovery, I think I'm doing all this stuff. I'm doing planting seeds, and then my higher power seeds. I'm a very lucky person that I've been given a gift to be able to carry a message that was given to me for fucking nothing.
Yeah, that's I love that saying. I really do. It's we are gifted.
We are gifted. I say to people every day, and I was with your sponsor yesterday. Yeah, and we were out, and I went into a newsagent. I bought 2 lottery tickets. I don't buy lottery tickets. I never do. And everyone knows. I always say I don't buy lottery tickets because I've already won the lottery. My recovery was the lottery, And I bought 2 lottery tickets, and I bought one for him and one for me. And I rolled them up, and I said, "Which hand?" And I gave him one, gave me one there for the 10 million on the weekend.
Yep.
And, I don't even know why I bought it. And I came and I said, "Mister, I bought 2 lottery tickets." She goes, "That's not like you." I said,
I know exactly why you bought it, because you were in the fucking you were in the car in the buggy yesterday. You fucking survived.
Yeah. I thought, well, if I get killed, I bought it before we went in the buggy. I thought, well, if I get killed, I'll feed my family while I'm dead. I was in the buggy with him out in the middle of the fucking rainforest.
Loves that fucking buggy, doesn't he?
Oh, he's off his head.
Yeah.
His head, mate. He's not the full quid, but I've had him for 21 years. I'm starting to get used to him.
Yeah. Look, he's a beautiful human being, eh? I'm very blessed to know him. And Ron, what I was saying before, I just was a watcher, I watched him for so long. Just the way the fucker sits, the way that he smiles, carries himself, always I know he's always happy, man. I wanted that. That there was this fucking glowing light around him, man. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful I got to, the fucking prick, when I asked him to be my sponsor, I said, he goes, "What do you mean, cunt? I already am." I said, "All right, cool. So you're my sponsor." And best thing he did, he's helped me a lot. We got to really connect over the men's camp, because I'd bring him in a panic going, "Oh, fucking this ain't happening," and he'd be like, whoa, fucking rein it in, Dan, rein it in, And he's taught me a lot, man. And I guess I know where he gets it from,
Yeah, his mum. I'm going to love you and leave you, mate.
Thank you, brother. I highly
Thank
appreciate
you very
you
much for
asking
coming
me
on to the
to-
truth about addiction. If anyone's out there
Cheers, mate.
suffering, know that you can listen to this podcast and never have to use again. There is a way out. There is freedom from active addiction. You know, when you caught up with the grips of this addiction, it looks like you can't get out of it. You can. You know, Dan's living proof. I'm living proof, and everybody that's ever been on this podcast is living proof. You know, if you need help, reach out. You know, thanks, Dan.
That's all they got to do. Thank you, mate. Love ya.
I solemnly swear that I will tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.